How's it going, you guys? Welcome to Morning Cop. Now, first things first, only one strain of the COVID-19 variant detected in India is now of concern, is what the WHO said. The WHO in its weekly epidemiological report said that the B1617.2 Delta, which is the only strain of COVID-19 which was first detected in India, is currently the only VOC, which is the variant of concern. It added that the B16171 Kappa 2 Delta 1 Kappa has been reclassified as a variant of interest and could well continue to be monitored regularly. Further, the B1613 is no longer classified as a VOI, that is variant of interest, or a VOC, which is a variant of concern. So essentially, the world is split into two different variants right now. Variants of something that we are aware of, variants of something that we aren't aware of, and lineages that are not specified as of now. When we talk about new global hotspots about where the pandemic is currently taking a foot, is the fact that, well, global land use changes, forest fragmentation, agricultural expansion, and concentrated livestock production are creating hotspots favorable for bats carrying coronaviruses, and that's a fact. You see parts of Indochina, Japan, Philippines, Thailand may transition into hotspots if things don't change in how people facilitate their farming needs. According to an international labor organization, more and more people are on the verge of either losing their jobs or have already lost their jobs, and this pandemic is not well subsiding anytime soon. What we also understand is the fact that the employment growth will be insufficient to make up for the losses suffered until at least the year 2023. Women, young people, and the 200 crore people working in informal sectors have been hardest hit in terms of loss of jobs or not getting jobs in the first place. The other most hit zone in this entire ensemble of people not being able to get jobs or get gigs are gig workers. DJs, producers, bartenders, club bouncers, waiters. It's all boiling down to entertainers not being able to entertain and thereby not being able to sustain themselves. Not every entertainer out there is like a well-established celebrity that has got copious sums of money by selling royalties to things that they've done. But there are people that are on the lower scale of that margin, of that threshold, that might not be the A-scale celebrity or the A-grade celebrity, whatever way you want to put it. Bottom line still is the same thing. People need to be able to make money to sustain themselves and their livelihoods, and with this coming into play, we see more and more people picking up odd jobs. People that were in the entertainment industry, that were in the media industry, are now venturing into various other industries just so that they can sustain their income while also pursuing what they love to do, which is, well, create. Now, about the whole situation wherein Russia was at the border of Ukraine, and after that Ukraine was like, you know what, we're going to start training with the US and bringing in the US into our country for close monitoring training. Well, it turns out that the Russian military has said that it's going to keep a very close eye on this situation. The Defense Ministry of Russia on Wednesday put out a statement that Ukraine and the US are hosting a naval drill that is too close to them, and if necessary to protect its own national security, it might react the way it deems fit. The Sea Breeze drills, which are focused on the Black Sea area, will involve personnel from NATO countries and will take place on June the 28th all the way to July the 10th of 2021. And if things get bad to worse and Russia believes that, well, its sovereignty is in question, it might do what it deems necessary to secure its sovereignty, as it always has, time and time again. Tesla files trademark for a restaurant. Now, this is new, but Elon Musk said that Tesla and the trademark of the name Tesla is now going to be used for pop-up restaurants, self-service restaurants, takeout restaurant services. Tesla has applied for a trademark for the word Tesla, a stylized version of the word, and also the iconic company T logo. Musk had tweeted about opening a restaurant at a Tesla supercharger location in Los Angeles way back in 2018. That never happened, but turns out that, hey, better late than never. Donald Trump's blog has been shut down a month after it launched. Now, after every other social media outlet out there essentially barred Donald Trump for being on their, well, platforms, and Donald Trump didn't have anywhere to post his so well articulated views, if you will. Turns out that he ended up launching his own platform called the From the Desk of Donald J. Trump. A month after being up and running, it's shut. And turns out that now the blog will not be relaunching. Trump's senior aide, Jason Miller, told CNBC that this has been a move which is a precursor to another move, which is Donald Trump joining a new social media platform. What might be that social media platform? Has that social media platform secured a deal of exclusivity with Donald Trump? Is that allowed for Trump? Is it not allowed for Trump? Why will it not be allowed for Trump, considering he's out of office? But if he considers re-running for election in 2024 and wins somehow, will that be an issue, considering that then Donald Trump is going to be a president on a platform in which he has a deal signed? I mean, speculations galore. We have to talk about this horrific story that came out about Canada, and Canada is going to go ahead and uncover more graves. After 215 kids were found buried at an ancient school for indigenous children, which was a dark part of Canada's history. Cabinet Minister Caroline Bennett has pleaded to support efforts to examine and find more unmarked graves at former residential schools for indigenous students which they were forced to attend. Canada's now defunct residential school system forcibly separated indigenous kids from their families. It was horrible, started in the late 1890s, went on all the way till the mid 1950s, I believe. Then the government took over and they were shut down systematically, but no one thought that this is what they would hide, a truly dark secret. Now, the thing is that China has been violating a lot of international airspace, and Malaysia will issue a diplomatic protest against an intrusion by 16 Chinese military planes, not regular planes, no, intruded into Malaysian airspace. The foreign minister Hisamuddin Hussain said that he'll summon the Chinese envoy to explain the breach in Malaysian airspace and Malaysian sovereignty. Having friendly relations with the countries doesn't mean that they'll compromise on national security, is something that Malaysia added just because it needed to add that, considering that China has been taking every single nation in the region quite lightly and trying to build pressures ever since it gained the number one size in terms of naval power. Something's flipped a switch, including being hostile towards Taiwan, fighting with Russia for territory, always fighting with India for territory and Japan for territory, and now with the Philippines for territory, and now violating Malaysian airspace is new but typical. Well, this is a weird one, the whole back and forth with Amul and PETA. Turns out that Amul cried mommy. Amul went a little further than just reply to a tweet. Amul urged the PM to ban PETA altogether in India, says that it attempted to ruin the livelihoods of 10 crore people. Well, the Amul vice chairman Walmaji Hambal urged PM Narendra Modi to ban PETA altogether, which is the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, saying that it's attempting to ruin livelihoods of 10 crore people by tarnishing the image of the Indian dairy sector. It comes after PETA tweeted to Amul saying that maybe you should look into vegan milk, and well, Amul went, who's going to look into making sure that all of these dairy farmers have wages and can sustain themselves? To which PETA didn't have a response, but then Amul went another step further, saying that how dare you in the first place, and now is asking PM Modi to ban PETA, which will never happen. We all know that it's not going to come down to that, but then again, it's just ridiculous to think that it went this far, but it did. A few fishermen found whale vomit worth upwards of 10 crores inside a whale. Upwards of 10 crores is a ridiculous amount. You see, a group of 35 fishermen found whale vomit, which is also known as ambergris, which is worth around 10 crores. 10 crores is a lot of money. And they found it in a whale which was floating in the Gulf of Aden. The fishermen from the Yemeni village of Al Khaisa agreed to split the profits of the 127 kilo lump of ambergris amongst themselves. And ambergris is the world's most sought after ingredient for perfumes. So if you smell real good all the damn time, you have whale vomit being sprayed on you in some way, shape or form, in the essence of the thing, in the grander scheme of the thing, if you would. But yeah, that's one of the major reasons why whaling was a very big thing way back in the day. It's still a huge concern, but it's been dialed down substantially. Then again, trawling marks give you a harsh reality of what the world once was and still continues to be, because industrial fishing is just evolving, and well, at the cost of the world and marine life. Now, more local news. suggests the fact that Maharashtra government announced a very decent competition that would actually be very beneficial for the people, considering that villages have been hit by COVID-19 as well. COVID-free village contest offered by the Maharashtrian government. The Maharashtra Rural Development Minister Hassan Mushraf said that the first prize would be around 50 lakhs, the second would be around 25 lakhs, and the third would be around 15 lakhs. And the participating villages would be judged on 22 different criterias, thereby making the whole take the pandemic seriously, do the social distancing protocols seriously, make sure you stay at home when you need to stay at home seriously, and turning that into a motivational factor is very good when you're talking about people who can go out of their way to figure out the technicalities of the issue. And the Maharashtrian government, by organizing a competition like this, is boosting morale more than it has ever been boosted since the conception of the pandemic to begin with, because a financial incentive is always going to hit different.